for which I apologise. This morning is basically a way of testing out everything, make sure that I still remember how to do all this and so on. I'm not expecting to sit there staring at me all the time. I'm going to stick old Arthur Morgan on. So bear with me a second to get that going. I have problems with streaming for several reasons. First of all, you might have gathered the reason this thing is called Grandad Does Games is because I'm quite old and I do games. Quite old, being in my 60s now. There's a lot of things that I need to establish before I can feel comfortable streaming. One of those is that there's a big age difference between me and most of the people that I'll be hopefully reaching. There seem to be a lot of things that people get offended by these days which were not necessarily offensive when I was younger. And that is one thing that constantly plays on your mind when you're streaming, that you don't want to upset people, should we say. The other thing that I find quite often is that much is made these days of mental health, and in my younger days we were always told, ignore it, don't go on about it, don't talk about it. I come across as quite a confident person, and when I'm talking to people face to face I am a very confident person, but when I've got something like this going on, the confidence goes out of the window. So playing games is the only way to go with streaming. I don't think I'll be able to do just chatting, as you can see from the fact that I'm playing a game. Let's do a free roam. I hope some of this is making sense to everyone, because it certainly doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So anyway, the other reason I'm doing all this is basically as a test to make sure I remember how to do it, and I think I'm fairly safe with that one. I did try broadcasting on using OBS, or I downloaded OBS, and it's nowhere near as intuitive as Twitch Studio. Obviously Twitch Studio is designed for beginning, OBS is designed for people who broadcast regularly and, shall we say, sometimes professionally. So I gave up on OBS. I've still got it on the system, although I doubt very much I'll use it. Maybe if this takes off, then it might be a possibility. Of course, the other problem that I've got is that, firstly, I wanted to advertise the fact that I stream. This is just more or less an outlet for me. And there's Arthur, that's him. Is this Arthur? No, it's not Arthur, is it? I'm online. Ah, this is Ike and Do. Yeah, I know, it's a silly joke, but I think it's quite a good idea at the time. Where was I? Oh, I've completely lost my thread now, I do apologise. Looking back on this later, I could be very annoyed that I lost my thread. Well, I'll apologise for that anyway, and we'll come back to that in a minute as soon as I remember. This is another thing with advancing age, you see. When you get older, you forget things very easily. I know I was referring to OBS, and I've still got it on the system. It seems too complicated by half for what I need to do. That was the thing I was going to say. If this streaming thing takes off, and if I can get over the fact that I've got 0 viewers, which is what the fact I was trying to get at earlier, then I might consider doing OBS again. And what I was going to say before was that I don't advertise the fact that I'm streaming. It's just something that I do for myself as an outlet. So basically nobody watches this, and then I get downhearted because nobody's watching it, and that's the reason I stopped streaming last time. So once we get established and I do start streaming games I have, I'm going to have to start advertising that situations before now. The other thing that keeps me a bit up, I'm not explaining this very well. The other thing that's a bit annoying is that on certain games, and this one seems to be one of them, we seem to have no chat. Now, whether that's because nobody's chatting, I don't know. And if there were anybody watching, I could ask them to just leave a message, but the only other way I can think of testing it is by coming out of the game, going back into the studio, which I do, like chat part built into it, and then leaving a message for myself. But dear. And here's the other thing about being an older gamer. I have got tucked away inside this brain of mine about 60 years of pop culture references. Musically speaking, I stopped taking an interest in the 90s. So everything from the 60s right the way up to the 80s is kind of familiar to me, and I will make reference to. From the 90s onwards, it all seemed to go, from my point of view, rather downhill, and I stopped taking interest. But as regards to cinema, I maintained an interest right up until Marvel and DC universes, till it seemed to be that every film that came out was about superheroes. Nothing wrong with superheroes, don't get me wrong. I like a good superhero film as much as the rest of it. So the films that were coming out were pretty much the same. And there was a lot of identity politics in there. I'm not getting into identity politics, it's something that I'll never agree with most of you about. It's something which is not really discussed in gaming situations. I get on with most people, I have no problem with any minority group whatsoever. However, I do feel that some minority groups have a problem with it, and I'll leave it at that. So, having said that, the pop culture references, I've got someone shooting here. Now, this is my modus operandi. When I see someone to shoot, I shoot them. And I keep losing track of what I'm saying, I keep going off at a tangent. Pop culture references, yeah, so it may be that a lot of the time I say things and you probably have no idea what I'm going on about, so if I do say something you don't understand, by all means give us a shout. I'll see what I can do interesting. 12 cents. Wow. Anyway, it is a situation where I can make references from films going back to the 1960s that you guys are never ever going to understand. Some of you, maybe your parents or your grandparents, sort of what films with you and you might understand, but I mean, for instance, vampire films. Vampire films go back to my earliest ones were Hammer Horror, and Hammer Horror was very campy films where Dracula was a well-dressed count from I can't remember the name of the places. But anyway, he was a very campy sort of person, the fangs and everything. These days, vampires are a very different kettle of fish, a la Twilight. And some of the more modern ones where they're just depicted as creatures rather than people. So I can say vampire and it will mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. It's very interesting, isn't it? Well, we seem to have some chat and it seems to be a bit of spam, so won't be more in that one, but at least I know the chat's working. Yeah, so vampires can mean a lot of different things for a lot of different people. And the same goes for the same goes for a lot of other things. Horror films, for instance, were very, very campy affairs when I was younger. But these days, they're a lot of body horror, very much so. Body horror was not a thing I was watching earlier on. One of my favourite YouTubers, Men Who Stare at Games, was playing Dead Space. Dead Space is a good game, but it's everything these days that was not. How can I put this? In my young days, in the 60s, we were called baby boomers of my generation because we were just coming out, our parents were just coming out of World War II when we were born, and there was all the horror involved in World War II and World War I. And explain it was very difficult. So we saw horror differently. Horror was a very different situation. Horror was not blood and gore. It was more about situations than blood and gore. Nowadays, horror tends to be literally just blood and gore. Not that's a bad thing, and I have played horror games, but it does seem like these days horror is totally different thing to the modern generation than it did to us. The attitude to killing is similar. Because we were coming out of the war, it was a situation you didn't mention the people who were killed during the war. Now, because killing is not something that we've experienced, it becomes a thing we're very blasé about. I just said to you that my little granddad was shooting people. I don't shoot people. I'm not the kind of person who go around shooting people in real life. But it's something that we take for granted on TV films.
Hello, stranger.
You don't got the eye. Just an eye for a deal.
I told you, go away, old man.
Nothing but false prophecies and fake jewelry.
Go away, or I see much pain and suffering in your future.
I think we're waffling on a bit now. I'm trying to get across here.
Sure you know what you're getting into with this one.
Hey, please, don't listen to him. I am Madame Nazar, channeler of spirits, finder of lost things, and, since everyone seems to be a fortune teller now, seller of the strange and exotic. Which one of these can I help you with today?
If
Wait,
anyone is watching this,
don't speak.
or anyone's going to
Let
be
me
watching
see.
this in the future, and they've got a problem with something I've said, then tell me why you've got a problem and what
You're
problem
searching for something. What though? A dead lover,
there are
whose
situations
spirit
where
you
things
wish to
might be offensive to me,
contact on the other
might be
side.
offensive to you, and
No,
things might be offensive to you,
it's not that.
offensive to me.
It's not something you've lost, but
knows?
something
Cup
you're
of coffee is up there, we want
missing. Yes, purpose. Some meaning in
And
the
my God, using it,
chaos, this life. Well, you see, that is something I can help you with. Come to work for me. I say I find things, but really, it is others who do the finding. I tell them what I'm looking for, and they collect it for me from far and wide. Sometimes with ease, and sometimes through great hardship. It is work that can be as honest or dishonest as you want it to be. How about it? Do you want to be one of my collectors? I make sure they are rewarded quite handsomely. A small fee is really the least I should ask for giving you what you're looking for and setting you up with everything you need to get started. There are more tools you may want from me in due course, but first, you will need to prove yourself. If you don't want to start now, you can find me again, and the offer will still be there.
hopefully
Oh, if money is the problem, then that is the first thing you should go looking for. When you found some, return to me, and I will set you on your way.
I completely stopped talking and I do apologise. I was a bit worried about. I've got a very basic I've got a very basic setup.
What a dark shadow you cast.
And CPU is 3600, just over basic CPU. I've got 3 drives. I've got one hard drive, one SSD, Windows, partition, and the second SSD which I've installed
This land is wide, and people walk it all to come and see me.
in my side 2 sorts of. It's this very small SSD that sits on the motherboard anyway. It's 1 terabyte, but it's quite a large drive. But although I've got plenty of storage space, the GPU is probably the bottleneck of the system. 1660 is quite a long GPU, it's not over 1080, so
I once met a Canadian in the wilds north of here. An interesting man, quite immune to my charms.
Of course, you might need GPU here. I'm playing the game now. I've got a temperature monitor going on the GPU. It's still pretty much what I expected if I was playing the game normally. So it's not too bad. This is what you really need. Collector's Day, you need 15 gold for that. I've got 1.65 gold bars.
If you want to work for me, it
The
is
one thing I've got
very
against this
simple.
gun, and I
You
think I've
make
got
a small
some
financial
gold
commitment, and I give you what you need to get started.
Basically, in the
Oh, you
main
held on to
game,
that one, huh?
when you loot
I
it, you
understand.
get $100. You get dollars, which that sim racks up. In this game, if you loot it, you get cents. And the main way of paying things in this game is gold bars. Now, gold bars, have a guess what you have to do to get gold bars. You can get them in the game, but mainly you have to buy them. And when I say buy them, I'm talking about real money, I'm talking about cash. And to get a long way in the game, you'd have to grind for hours and hours and hours, and then, which I simply haven't got time to do, or buy them. I'm not going to buy them, so I will play the game now, so every so often. And that's it, basically. I haven't finished the main game on the offline version, so I've got to do that as well, but maybe that'll be some gold fire or that. I was trying to explain something that make me sick, and one thing I think of this morning, most people my age are content now to start settling down and watching Midsummer Murders on the telly, and that's all they like to see. So I have had from a very young age a very active imagination, tying into what I was talking about earlier. I have a lot of interest in pop culture, both old and new, with the limitations we mentioned, and a very, very strong imagination. I can't, in all good conscience, settle down into being an old person. It frightens me that I'm as old as old people now. By that I mean that my physical age doesn't match my mental age. Inside I'm still probably about 17. A small example, I saw another video on YouTube, I can't remember if I didn't watch it, I just saw the title. It was talking about how does the economics of Star Trek work. And that's a very good point, and that will start me thinking, and that is something which I'll exercise thought on. How does the economics of Star Trek work? Well, I might watch that video later because it interests me, but I've got my own theories. Nobody shot me instead. And that's the other thing I was going to say, because I'm older and my reflexes aren't necessarily that good and my aim is not necessarily that good. The eyesight is going, so if you're expecting someone who's going to be red hot every game going, you'll be disappointed. I do this for fun. Although it might help if I was to have some food, because my dead eye is completely gone. Anyway. Yeah, so imagination, I will think about the strangest things. And sometimes it keeps me awake at night, which is very strange. Got some beans here, what's that? Beans. That's better. Something for coffee, purely down. Yeah, so I'll be laying there in bed, and I'll actually keep myself awake thinking about the stupidest things which really have no real importance in the world. I can't think of an example now, but I mean, I have had sleepless nights where I've been up for hours and hours and then thinking about something that matters not a jot, not a tiny little bit. I've got a battery shooting this time, might turn while I shoot back. The other thing that applies is that this will not be my source of income. It isn't my source of income, and it won't be my source of income. A lot of people, I know YouTubers, do this for a living, and I would love to do this for a living, but I do work. I work in a very famous supermarket. I can't name it for obvious reasons, but I work in a very famous supermarket. At my age, purely part-time. My wife actually works full-time, bless her, so I can work part-time. Had a stroke 7 years ago, which is why she does that. I have various other ailments, and again, this all leads into why I can't play games as well as I might like. Now, I noticed there are some other players here, and this is another thing about playing online that gets to me. When I'm playing online, I'm not that brilliant at the game.
I hate you!
And I very often come across griefers who don't even listen in life is up to everyone or keep killing them. Which is what I thought that guy might be. And I've had in the past, and in Call of Duty particularly, I played online for a little while, and on this game as well, I've had people that are quite abusive on the microphone. I've got a microphone, as you know, because I'm talking to you on it, and I might well talk to people if I felt that I was going to get a good response. The trouble is with some people these days. Oh, there we go. This is exactly what I'm trying to point out, and the sort of thing I'm talking about. Sorry, bear with me, I'm trying to get away from it. I'm not going to get away, just get it cut out the edge and kill them. Right, having got out of that situation, it illustrates the point exactly. I'm never sure what I should do. Whether I should give up, whether I should just accept it, whether it's going to be... I'm not sure about the social implications. And this ties into what I was saying earlier. Socially speaking, I know all the rules in every situation I'm in, physically, work, there's the social implications of the age thing that I was talking about, the social implications of giving up on somebody where we're supposed to just let them do what they're doing and whether I'm not sure what this parley is. I must find that out. Let's find out now, shall we? Oh. Yeah, seems to have crashed. Well, once again, apologies for that. Let's start this again. Let's close that. And give it another go. Well, I've actually got a follower. Unfortunately, it's the guy that was trying to sell me something earlier on. So anyway, as a stream, I was kind of dreading this because it's the first time I've done this for months, basically, and I couldn't be sure that I remembered how to do it, and so on and so forth. And I'm hoping I have remembered how to do it, and you're not seeing a blank screen at the present. I think I'm doing okay because it's got a Twitch overlay on it, and I just spoke to me earlier on, so I'm fairly certain we're okay. I also did some streams on my Xbox. I have several game machines. I've got a PC, an Xbox, and PS4. The PS4 sadly is gathering dust in the corner. The Xbox isn't much better at the moment, but I do go on there occasionally. Up until recently, I was playing Elden Ring. I didn't finish Elden Ring simply because in the end it's so big and there's so much to do that I burnt out. I played 150 hours, probably more, of Elden Ring. And like many other people, I just got totally fed up with it. So that's back in the back seat. But I did manage to stream. There is a Twitch streaming service available on the Xbox. And I did manage to stream Elden Ring with a microphone and earphone combination. The only problem with that was that you can't have the chat overlay on, so I had to make it a situation whereby I would do these streams with no chat. And I know you don't have to have chat, but to me it makes the stream more interesting to talk to the people that you're actually even though, as I said, I didn't have any look at that time. Hope eventually to have people watching my streams, and if I do, I like to go to talk to them. The other thing, I was saying earlier on about having an active brain, imagination, and the one thing that's buzzing through my mind now is whether the crash earlier on is caused by this game, which doesn't crash very often, actually said, or whether it was caused by the fact that I was doing a Switch stream. And when you think about it, I've actually got 3 programs running at the moment. I've got MSI Afterburner to keep an eye on the temperature. I've got, which I recommend, by the way. It gives you an overlay while you're playing games, keep an eye on the GPU temperature. And there are certain games that do run the temperature up. Witcher 3 make my computer sound like it's taking up. As does Farthest Frontier, which is another favourite of mine. So I've got MSI Afterburner. Also got Twitch Studio, obviously. That's what I'm using the stream for. And the game. And my graphics are really enjoying looking at it. Sorry, off on a tangent again. That's me all over. Still 1,001 things going on at once. Yes, I've got that running as well as the game itself. And when you think about the computers I used to run, my first computer was Spectrum, Spectrum back in 1982. And it was a brilliant little machine. You could only have 2 colours in any 8x8 pixel square. So colour was limited, sound was sort of very 80s arcade sound. And I've had various machines until the ones I mentioned here, the one that I've got at present. And if you look at these graphics now, and then look back at what I was playing on the Spectrum, these are 1,000,000%, 1,000,000,000% better. And considering I'm running a very old, low-end graphics card, that's pretty good. As far as graphics cards go, as far as graphics cards go, you've got the 1080 series or the 10 series NVIDIA cards. Then you've got the 16, which is this one, which is halfway between the 10s and the 20s. Then you've got the 20s and the 30s and the other 40s graphics cards. My horse, by the way, is called Roach, as you may have gathered. All my horses are called Roach. After the horse in The Witcher 3. completely got track of what I was talking about again. Graphics card. So this is sort of second tier graphics card for about 4 years. Now some builders can deal with them. Gareth did it on the land. He's got a very company that he runs. He does 3D printing, so he built it PC. Having said that, I did get into technology in a big way when I got into PCs in the late 80s, early 90s. I was actually building my own, and having seen what the son built for me, previously I thought I wouldn't be able to do that anymore. It really got too complicated. And it's simply built for me. I could have built this, and when it came to installing the M2, I've heard of the M2 SL2. I actually installed that myself quite happily. So having seen what my son built for me, I could have built it myself. Having said that, he did do it for me, which is great. I'm thinking about upgrading a couple of cards in, just got great power supply and so on and so forth. It's a bit complicated. Probably want to do that. I don't quite understand what people find differences between. I mean, a lot of this, a lot of people go on about ray tracing. And as I understand it, ray tracing handles shadow and water effects, fire effects, and handles those effects. This is my understanding. I may well be wrong. That's probably am, but my graphics card does plenty of job handling water effects, handling fire. I've run a program Thermart which actually generates donut shapes on the screen, which is covered in fur. For better graphics and I understand it's an old graphics card, but at the end of the day, it does the job. It has to be said, my eyesight's none too clever, so I mean, I don't think it's going to make a lot of difference. I always think to myself, basically, you look at these trees and young people do it, I mean, they're perfectly decent, just coming out, they're crispy sure enough as it is. It reaches a certain point where you would not be where the average human being would not be able to differentiate between one graphic resolution and another. The human eye has a certain resolution that it can distinguish between. And once the eye's resolution is reached, anything else is just overkill. I'm not sure if you understand what I'm trying to say here. TVs have become better. TVs become higher resolution. This is a 4K TV that I'm playing on. And 8K is the next best thing. Which is all very well, but most people wouldn't be able to distinguish between 4K TV and 8K TV if they weren't told that there was a difference. I watched Top Gun, and I mentioned earlier that I lost a lot of interest in films afterwards. Marvel Universe. Top Gun is probably one of the best of the old style films that coming out recently. And it was in 4K, so I've got Blu-ray players to watch it on. I've got 4K TV, so I watched it in 4K, and it was brilliant. The fighter jet scenes were absolutely fantastic, crisp and clear. I can't see that having an 8K TV will make any difference. In a game like this, I can't see why having an 8K TV will play any difference than having a 4K TV. Maybe it will give you a microsecond edge with distinguish assuming that I wanted to shoot somebody in this screen now, and they're over there in the trees, if I had an 8K TV, it might just give you a good trial aiming in terms of shooting from here. But with my eyesight the way it is, it still would be much of an advantage. And even if you had 20/20 vision, I still don't think it would be much of an advantage. Just a tiny microsecond. And more importantly, games should be about fun. And if all you're worried about is resolution and graphics mode and so on and so forth, and you're not having fun. To me, one of the best games I've ever played is on Statue. And it was basically an adventure game. What they used to call adventure games in those days, tech-based adventures, where you were given a scenario. It was based on the old Dungeons and Dragons. You had to respond to that scenario in whatever way you play on the moment. So, for instance, say here you're on a mud path, there's a dragon, what do you want to do? Shoot on the wagon, and then that would have consequences. Now, those games kept me occupied for hours, and the graphics, if there were any graphics, most of them were text. If there were any graphics, that was rubbish. You have to be having fun. If you're not having fun, you can't get it. You can't finish it. And it was one of the most popular games of the last few years. That is rare. And again, this ties into what we were saying earlier, that killing to me now is just, I know it's not real killing, and I wouldn't be able to shoot somebody if you paid me. Give me a gun, I probably would shoot shooting in cold blood. But killing, we're very blasé about it until you actually face reality. I am having to fault and I have to apologise here because my shit can't go on to one subject, it changes up completely on the slightest pretext. I think the last time I was speaking I was saying about a market is one to Counter-Strike. This is where the graphics content does demonstrate limitations. There's a lot of popping, grass, some inferior and nowhere and so on. And I do appreciate the amount of work where, for instance, the new Hogwarts game. There's a lot. By the way, I only put this game on just to you having to look at what we're talking. It's basically a chatting session with the game involved, in case you haven't got it. So the new Hogwarts game, there's a lot of controversy about it because of so this early on we'll talk about politics. I'm not getting into it this time, but it's because of the J.K. Rowling situation. There's a lot of political upheaval surrounding the game, and you say you shouldn't play it because of the against politics outside of it. There's people who say you should play it, and there's as many arguments as there are people, basically. But having said that, graphically speaking, I can't deny it's one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen. The work that's gone into it from the developers is just amazing. When in the books the pictures were described as being movie pictures, nearly headless Nick, all the things this one put on a book for like a multi-channel, it must have taken immense amounts of programming time to do what they've done. And I don't know what it, so, I mean, there's no doubt that devs these days do a wonderful job. Now, one thing I've got to mention is, I don't know whether you guys saw that, whether it's just my TV, I think it's just my TV. In my house, the electronics, or so the electronics aren't that brilliant, and occasionally when a light switched on, or when the switch is on, or when the boiler switch is on, my cable for the HDMI can't be shielded very well because it just cuts the screen out completely, and that just happens. So if the screen did go blank, that's just my electricity playing up. Where are we now? Oh, there's the moon. Yes. The games themselves these days are so much more. If you'd have told the younger me that they would be riding on the screen, riding through a western, riding through a western scenario on a horse with a gun in the situation we're in at the moment, then I would have said that no, I'm silly, basically. As I said, that used to respect the graphics. But it's not just the graphics, it's the whole thing. They're not afraid to tap in scenarios, situations, there's horror, you've got open worlds. I mean, this is an open world. When I say open world, I'm thinking about this one. I'm thinking about literature, any world where it's quite a large place. The only thing I've got against games at the moment is AAA games tend to be very, very much the same. I was talking about the Hogwarts game earlier on, and it is a brilliant game, graphically speaking, but as far as the gameplay is concerned, it's just another role-playing game. Screen is counted, so again, apologies if that happens. It's just another role-playing game with the same basic mechanics. You have to have the ability to show your next quest. You have to have the ability to have quest markers to show you where to go. You have chests containing treasure. That treasure is built up into crafting. I have to ask you to excuse me a moment. I'll do it that way. Well, I was going to let the screen go still, but well, I have to go and do something, so bear with me a second while I do that, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, back again, sorry about that. Yeah, AAA games, so you have to have all those mechanics, and they're all pretty much the same. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Assassin's Creed Origins, Hogwarts, Witcher 3. They've all got basically the same mechanics. So I don't think I'll be playing Hogwarts, I'm not sure the principle, simply because of the appeal to me from the point of view of another open world game, an open world RPG. Despite the fact that the combat is absolutely brilliant. And the various other aspects of graphics I already mentioned are fantastic. It's just simply another RPG game with nice graphics. I think I'm going to go and see if I can pay off a bounty here and pull the map up. There's a place we can do that. Right, station over there. Right, okay, so we're going to do over there. I'll do poker. Go and find a stranger. Okay. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Going back to what I was saying earlier on, one of the reasons I play, you may know that I don't interact with many people is because most of the people I just there to, they just want to cause grief. They're griefers. I don't run with a posse on. The main reason I don't do games, I'm sorry about this, the main reason I don't do games online because I haven't really got anyone to play online games with. Most of the people that I know, that are the people that I know prefer to play solo games. If I was with a posse, then maybe I might think about, in this case, possibly I might think about it, but I don't know enough people. I hope it's something I could play online, things that is certain things like the games that I like, YouTube, things. So, when you're on your own, you tend to find people sitting on you. That's the wrong word. Sounds like I'm saying ridiculous. I'm not. I don't have the skills necessary. I've got the skills. With a posse, the game tends to be other people taking the strain. Other people take the strain, it's not all about what you do. When you're playing on your own, if you get caught by something, I'm not sure I'm explaining it very well, I really am sorry. When you're on your own, if you get caught by somebody, you either give up, fight them, or when you're tied on the back wall, there's nothing you can do. Early on I was tied on the back of the hall. I kept trying to break free, but by the time I'd done that, they'd probably done what I was going to do. So I gave up. I think it could be more fun if I played this game with somebody else. Let's do it that way. With another team member. So, as it is, I tend to play it alone. Rather than people that you can do online, I suppose. It's got mechanics in this game that are different to the main game. familiar with GPS, as in the car GPS, and also with the sort of computer program that I was finding in the computer game, must be familiar with the idea of the route planner taking you a long way down. In the past on GPS, I've gone somewhere hoping to find out if there was a short route available, but that involved same motorway when I put into the route planner, don't use motorway. And in these games it does that automatically. Sometimes find a route for you which it considers to be the best route because it's all main road. But there's a shorter way you could have got there just by going cross country. So I always try and find shortcuts. Covered that side. Ooh. It's supposed to be there. Session crackers. That's a cracker. Now that was one of those things which I was talking about earlier that would mean nothing to anybody else, but mean a lot to me. There was a comedian, an Irish comedian, I can't remember his name, but he used to have that catchphrase, "That's a cracker," which is the joke he's just told is a cracker. Just a classic example, if ever it needed, one of those things which mean something to me and mean absolutely nothing to most of you. So there you go. Trying to find a way to pay the debts off. Can't do that here, obviously. Okay, let's go back to the map again then. Let's go back to camp and I'll talk to you on the way. One of the interesting things about monitoring the temperature on the computer here when playing is that the temperature of the GPU goes up at night time. And I had a conversation with my son about this once, and he said that two of the hardest things to render in a computer game are fire and water. And I think that's why the temperature on the GPU goes up in the night, because you have so many places where you've got fires, you've got lights in windows, every star's got replaced in the sky, you've just basically got a lot of stuff that the process has to deal with. And it's funny, I noticed that as soon as it gets daylight in the game, the temperature goes down. Now, all of you IT guys out there are probably saying, screaming at the TV, hang on a minute, that's obvious, well, not to me, it's a marvellous thing. There you go, classic example. Every time we need it, fire. Now during the day there's no fire there, so we don't need to process all that extra. I think they are matchmaking posts and shit. This is part of what I was trying to say earlier on. I'm not interested in forming bosses with strangers. I would like to play games with people that I know, but unfortunately you can't know somebody unless you get to know first. And it ties back to what I was saying at the beginning of the game, where when I speak to people face to face, and I have confidence to talk to them, times like that. When I'm talking to people in this situation, I haven't got that confidence. So, assuming I talk to somebody at work, for instance, I say, oh yeah, I've read that section online, and I reckon I would like to, team up. I know them, and they know my employees, and they know, but if you two are strangers, you're just as liable to someone who's only aim is to make your gameplay mutually profit. And I think they're like that. In other words, I would like to play with people I've already met and or know. Rather than just teaming up with strangers. I'm hoping it makes sense. It makes sense. We'll play this game. I think
It ain't very smart to be sneaking around the
It literally is a spoof western, and the theme is quite catchy.
Don't run up on me like that. It's dark out. You gotta.
Yeah, the theme's quite catchy as well. So every time I sort of start playing this song, I automatically think of Blazing Saddles. Blazing Saddles, something like that. And the other thing that comes to mind, again, you're probably not familiar with it, this guy called, I don't know, you might know Clint Eastwood. He was very famous back in the sort of 80s, and he was famous for two things. He was famous as Dirty Harry. He played Dirty Harry, which is kind of an incorruptible pop. And he also played a character, and he's always known as the Man with No Nose. And he played a cowboy here, he wore poncho. Not saying a lot. Very good. Can't expect to come across somebody with a man with no nose in this game. Oh, well, there's another one of those popular references again. That was Queen, in case you don't know. Or one of my biggest influences going. I love Queen. I saw them 7 times live. Another one bites the dust on there, for the sake, lesser known and less general.
Best not be in a rush. Move on with it. What the hell is your...
shouldn't get the impression that this is all I do, by the way. I don't go around just killing people all the time. I do take on missions occasionally. I do a lot of delivery missions. You earn quite a bit of money for delivery missions. Sometimes a couple $100. Occasionally enough to buy them. I think it was provided free as a part of an achievement. Oh, I see what. Let's put the gun away first. I knew you should go. Yeah. And yet again, I've completely lost track of what I was talking about. Never mind. I'll go back to the last default position. I don't always go around shooting all the time. I do delivery missions, keep the other two does occasionally get notified of them all. I think came free, and the saddle came free as part of an achievement.
Yeah.
But when you first start the game, you're pretty much wearing the character of Denny, that's it, and the next. So, all the clothes as well from day by level. Right, what I think I want to do, in quite some time now, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to get to the camp. When I get to the camp, I'll end it here because this was only ever intended to be a sort of reintroduction. I thought to everyone, by the way, my name is Phil. I call myself Grandad Dubs Games because I'm the granddad of the game, but my name is Phil. So now everyone gets to call me. Because it's my name. I'm talking about temperatures. This GPU is running at about 81 degrees, which is quite high, but I'm not desperate. So, but if this was the Witcher, it would probably be running near 86, because literally my computer burns.
The hell! I travel along. Beat it.
about mechanics. About the mechanics in this game, and the guy had just come across a skeleton, so he looks the skeleton, and all of a sudden a witness appears and starts saying, "I saw you murder that man," even though the skeleton's obviously about 50 years old. And although it's an exaggeration, it's true that the witness thing in this is really a bit silly. I mean, I could kill them. You can look around me here, there's nobody here. Somebody comes along, I kill them, and then about 5 seconds later, somebody turns up and says, "Oh, the witness," despite the fact that there's nobody a million miles. It used to worry me that the PC got to 80 odd. I'm reliable led to believe that as long as it's under 90 it's fine. It's never actually reached 90 yet. Also that really it doesn't really start throttling until about near the 100, so you don't find it really a form of material. The only thing that worries me is that it is quite loud when it's up in the 80s. So basically I just turn the volume off and I've done with it now. I was at the end of my game when you usually go and buy Right, anyway, this was only ever meant to be a reintroduction to myself and what I'm trying to do here. So, I don't think I ever intended it to be anything to do with a stream in the truest sense of the word. So I'm going to rest at the campfire, and then hopefully next time I do a stream, I'll try and let everyone know. So thanks for watching, if you were. If you're not, don't worry about it. And have a look at this while we're at it. Usually get some good stuff out of this. 40% of travel, interesting in that. Trade and food, not interested in that. Free saddle, we've got one. Free water, we've got one. No, there's nothing there of interest. Okay, so yeah, once again, thank you for watching, and we'll quit the game and I'll say goodbye. And hopefully next time I'll see you playing properly. And there you go. Once again, thanks for watching and goodbye for now.